7 things I realized about Dragon Ball Z as an adult. I gotta hear this. Let's go.
So, for as long as
I
I can
love Dragon
remember,
Ball.
Dragon Ball Z has always been a part of my life.
It's
In my
dope.
house, that's what
We
we
about to
grew
get
up on.
beat up.
Now, I don't know if you guys have a comfort anime or just one you always go back to, but for me,
I would guess my comfort anime would be Dragon Ball Z, like, cause it's on like YouTube, so I just throw it on and I'll watch it. And it's crazy because I actually like Naruto more as a kid, but Naruto I don't think is on there. So yeah, Dragon Ball Z would be, I guess, the comfort anime.
this was one of them. But recently, as I was
Damn.
doing just that, I just thought about how differently I used to view certain in the show to how I see them now. But let
Uh,
me show y'all what
Let
I
me hear
mean
what
real
you
quick.
mean. Yeah,
So
let me
without
hear you
further
out.
ado, let's get into it.
Lindoo.
Now, before we get into this list, just keep in mind this is young Lindo. So, this is
Lindo.
just how I was thinking as a kid, y'all. Don't do me. But
Okay.
starting with number one, we got Chi Chi's anger.
She is
I can't
angry all the
lie,
time,
at no
bro.
point when I was younger did I try or
Damn.
even want to try to understand Chi Chi. I simply seen her as an overbearing, nagging mother. You know, no different
Uh,
than how a lot of kids see parental figures,
uh,
especially when
Yo, I'm gonna have to leave a like just because the everybody hates Chris clip.
you're doing something you deem fun, sometimes something you're not even supposed to be doing. But yeah, I feel like this may be a common one, you know, depending on how old you were first watching the series.
Chi Chi is one of the most underrated, annoying, and hated moms in anime, but to be honest, she the most ride or die, study and do this homework, get us out of the hood. I'm gonna keep loving you no matter what type of mom out there. She for real be having Gohan study his ass off. Like the earth could be blowing up tomorrow if Gohan doesn't do something. She's like, well, I want you to study.
Man, Chi Chi
It's kind of annoying to be honest. Like, yeah, I get the mentality. You want your kid to succeed and be successful in the business world. You want him to have a great career. But how the hell he gonna have a great career when the world is constantly getting destroyed? People on the planet are getting killed like on a bi-yearly basis. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, she needs to definitely get this mentality like, hey, you know, your kid, if anything, you should be proud of your kid stopping the world from getting blown up. Like, bro, that's come on, bro. If that was my son, yeah, it's my son out there. You know what I'm saying?
she just used to be so aggy. She
She
always came
is.
before or after a big fight just doing the most. Like, girl, no one is trying to be inside all day studying. We're outside. So yeah, that's how I was feeling before, but
It's
nowadays,
definitely a
when
good
I
mix,
see
though.
her
It is a good mix. I would say, like, you have Goku, a martial artist, training his son how to do ki control, how to fight, right? How to be a man. And then you have his mother teaching him, hey, education is very important. So the dynamic, I think, is, I guess, a good match. I have no idea how Goku, well, I mean, I guess, I mean, nothing really phases Goku. So, Chi Chi, I guess, is a good match.
tweak out, all I see is a protective mother. A little overbearing, sure, but who's gonna want their son constantly getting it on with grown ass men? And
Facts.
every mom in the
And why you say it
series be
like
having
that?
the same concerns when it comes to their kid. Chi Chi was just the first and most strict we see, so I think that's why it hits harder. But I don't
Hmm.
blame her. This was not only her kid, but her first one. As most moms do, she chilled out a little bit once she had another. So yeah, if anything, we need to be giving Goku the side eye. He's the one constantly
Hmm.
having Gohan involved in all these battles. After what happened with
Hmm.
Raditz, I get Gohan needing to train to at least be able to protect himself and maybe his family, but I doubt he needed that much battle experience. Like some of these fights,
Well, I mean, we didn't know he was going to end up fighting freaking Recoome on Namek. They were going to Namek to get the Dragon Balls back so they can wish people back to life. They didn't think Frieza was going to show up. So I feel like anything that happens on Namek, it should not count against like parental supervision. At the same time, it does because they did let their children go off into outer space.
were a bit much. Chi Chi isn't
It's Krillin's fault. He's a bad uncle.
even against regular training, it's the battles she be on hot about. But hey, I don't have any kids, so what do I know? But if I did, I would probably have a problem with this too. So yeah,
Word.
Chi Chi is justified. Alright, this next one pretty much goes hand in hand with our first one. Now, when I was younger, Gohan used to annoy me. I wasn't really so understanding when it came to him being so passive, and I really didn't like the non-training thing he started doing. It's literally why I hated his little school arc so much. But
Hmm.
basically, I just seen him as someone with lots of potential, yeah, but what good is it when you're always selling? Don't get me wrong though, I loved when he
Hmm.
actually did perform, but I do understand why he decided he wanted to live a more normal life. Like, can
Yeah.
you really blame him?
Gohan was barely learning math with shapes and alphabets, yet he was getting packed up like this. I wouldn't want to fight neither growing up, bro. It was getting worked.
But not gonna hold you. If this
But
is what
it's crazy though because it's like he's not human. He's half human. He's half human, half Saiyan, and Saiyans are warriors, right? He has warrior blood in him, but he chooses to be more this unless something bad is happening to his family, and then he can go warrior mode.
Gohan wanted, he should have stood on it a little bit more. He was really letting Vegeta, of all people, eat him up about this. I would have been like, you doing all this training, but you don't be putting on for real. Like, yeah, I should have been training,
Mm,
but calm down. Vegeta
mm.
really went in on him just to let Babidi
Facts.
put that M on his head in a couple more
Facts.
episodes. Like, please. All that training, but still needed a little boost, huh?
Got
Yeah,
him.
Gohan's better than me. But
Speak on that.
anyways, let's move on to our third one, and I think this is my
Hercule's a
favorite adult
fraud.
realization.
He is a
So growing
fraud.
up, I didn't really like Hercule. He
You know, it's crazy. He is a fraud, but at the same time, he doing shit like
was
this.
just too phony
I can't do that. So at the same time, he's a fraud compared to Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, right? People that can fly and blow shit up. But compared to me and you, Hercule that nigga. Period.
for me.
Bro did
But
a
my
front flip
dad, on
into
the
the
other hand,
stage.
he kept gassing
Oh, he didn't land it. Never mind. Fuck what I said. He a fraud for
this man up.
real.
I did become
He
less
is a
annoyed with
fraud
him
for
as the
real.
series went on, but now that I'm older, I see the hype. Besides anyone who trained under Master Roshi or Tien himself, Hercule is the strongest human on Earth. Plus, I'm sure he's the only human to never have to be wished back. So it's not like
True.
he's a total fraud now.
Yeah, he's not a
Sure,
total
he's
fraud.
taking credit for things
He's
he
not a
didn't
complete
do, like
fraud.
killing Cell and Boo.
I mean, if anything, that's just smart. It's good marketing because Goku didn't care. Gohan didn't care. None of the real warriors cared about credit. Maybe Krillin, because of course Krillin about getting the bag. Facts. But Hercule, he's definitely the one to talk about getting the bag.
But let's
He has a whole world praising his name. Like, come on. Like, of course he's gonna take the credit.
not act like he didn't play a huge role in both fights. He technically do be saving the Earth. So boom. During the Cell saga, we got him, first of all, attempting to fight Cell, which obviously didn't go well. But then, after fully seeing what Cell was capable of, we got him still risking his life bringing Android 16's head over to Gohan. Which is super important because his death
Facts.
is what ended
That's
up
how we
sending
get Super
Gohan over
Saiyan
the
2.
edge. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it did. Then with the boost,
Well, I mean, Gohan is a. I don't think Gohan's seen anybody really. Well, yeah, I guess he did see Piccolo die. Never mind.
saga, he's even more important. First, we got him befriending Boo
Nah, well, the way Piccolo died versus Android 16 getting his skull crushed in front of him after delivering a speech is kind of crazy.
and putting him on game. Like, what you're doing right now, it's not it. Like, he really got Boo to agree to not do it anymore.
Mm.
Eventually, though, because it could just never be that simple, the evil and the good in him was forced to separate. And then he did his big one, speaking to the
Oh,
people of Earth,
I didn't know he
because
fought
they were
Super Boo.
not listening to Goku and Vegeta.
Facts.
Raise your hands up right now, or you're all going to die!
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I heard some shit like that, what the hell?
He even managed to carry Vegeta away so Goku could drop the thing. And don't let me get into how often he's hit by someone way stronger than him. He should not
And
be
he still
surviving
walk it
these.
off.
And to top it off, he's far from stingy with the winnings. The Nick be splitting bread, so
He
you
does.
just gotta respect it.
He
I don't
does.
know what kid me was on hating on the champ. So next up, we got the Bulma leaving Yamcha for Vegeta situation.
Bro, Vegeta is better. Yes, of course she's gonna leave for him. What?
Now, according to Future Trunks, Bulma got tired of Yamcha playing the field. Don't make fun of me, but I didn't realize Trunks meant cheating when he said this. I
Mm,
just thought he was simply like a ladies' man. So, I definitely felt a little bad when Bulma
mm,
moved on to Vegeta. Vegeta was
nah.
literally the reason why Yamcha went out the way he did. So, moving on with him, it was a little OD. It's kind of like you getting fired and your girlfriend moves on to your boss.
But that happens though. Not the boss necessarily, but bro, if you winning and then you lose it, a lot of women, like legit, like real shit. A lot of women will walk out and be like, "Man, I'm not gonna do this," and they're gonna find somebody better. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all.
And not even just a temporary thing, like they're dead ass happy. Mm. City grows up. Nah, but
That
for
well,
real,
that's not even really a city girl moment, but yeah,
this
facts.
is gonna sound a little foul, but how I'm feeling nowadays, whether he's a ladies' man or simply a cheater, I still would prefer Vegeta too. Now, I'm
Of
not saying she
course,
was right for doing it like that, but I do get it. And I know people are usually like, how can she fuck with someone like Vegeta after all the he's done? But putting that aside,
she hasn't seen that.
when we see them in Super, Vegeta is a good husband and father. Same with GT. Plus, with the Yamcha thing, dealing with a guy who's constantly lusted over it just has to be annoying. Too much comes with it. Then, on top of all this attention, he's also cheating, so that means he can't even contain himself when tempted. He should have really been moving like this.
Noodles are delicious. Here, try some.
I'm not hungry!
Yeah, he did bad. And since he's always around, I just know he thinks about this from time to time. But let's
Damn.
move on to Yamcha's upgrade. So with Vegeta, back then he was really hard to like. Losing fights
Vegeta's
is one
pride.
thing,
Yeah.
but a lot of the time he was just getting completely embarrassed or outclassed. I couldn't really get behind that type of losing streak. Only beating scrub type characters just wasn't doing it for me. Plus, to make matters worse, he kept coming off as highly delusional and also kind of a hater. So I couldn't even
He
get
is.
behind him like how I would for a proper underdog. As the series continued though, he had immense character development that I actually did appreciate then, but I appreciate even more now. He really came a long way when you look back at it. Y'all gotta remember, Vegeta was the Prince of All Saints, literally royalty.
Yeah, but that's
And
why
it's
his
quite
ego was so
obvious he
big.
never had
Yeah.
to pop out and show niggas until he met
Yeah.
Goku. His battle
Facts.
with Goku was the first time he's ever been pushed like that. So constantly being done up by, in his words, a low-class
Low
Saiyan
class
warrior,
Saiyan.
it gotta
Yeah.
hurt.
He
Ooh,
low
and to top it
class.
off, not only did Goku surpass him, but his son too.
Facts.
Yeah, I see why he was in his feelings after that one. Now,
Facts.
I know a lot of people hate the Boo saga for whatever reasons, but regardless of any issues you have with it, you gotta give credit when it's due. The way they handled Vegeta's character development was mwah, chef kiss. For most of the series, Vegeta was fighting on the good side, yeah, but only for his own personal reasons. And I'm not even knocking him for fighting for selfish reasons, because Goku does it too to an extent.
He does. No, no, no. Goku 100% fights for selfish reasons. Like, bro, King Kai told him not to go and find Frieza. He was like, "Oh, Frieza's strong. Let me go fight him anyway." Like, yeah.
My thing was more so, you can want to get
Yeah.
stronger.
Bro did it. Bro decided not to get Wish back to Earth because he said, I want to go train on Yard Drive. No, I want to keep training somewhere else. Forget my kid. Forget my family. Forget that. We were a planet literally blew up. But I'm about to go train right now. My kid, I think he got away safe. He's good. My friends, whatever. I'll see them after I'm done training. So yeah, Goku, selfish for real.
Without hating on the
He's
next
selfish
man
for
so
real.
much. Being motivated is fine, but you don't have to have so much malice with it. So finally seeing
Vegeta.
him accept what we all knew already, and also fighting for someone other than himself,
Oh,
it was really
man.
a full circle moment.
Yeah.
We really got a 2-in-1. He went from questioning how Goku could easily sacrifice his life for others to literally doing the same thing in the next arc. That's growth. But yeah, yo, I just feel like over the years, I just learned to appreciate Vegeta's character development more and more. Okay, so this one is really a conspiracy because
Okay,
growing
let's hear
up,
it.
OG Broly was pretty much my favorite Dragon Ball movie. But with all
Really?
the times I've watched it, not once did it occur to me that the reason Broly was mad was deeper than the crying. This is the latest realization I've had for the show because I didn't start thinking about this as a possibility until a few months ago. I seen a short of someone trying to explain it, and then of course I just looked into it myself. And basically, there's a few theories out there, but I only really found two to be the most likely. One is that Broly was more so mad because while being stabbed, the last thing he hears is Goku's crying, so he develops PTSD from that. And the second theory was, since Goku had a really low power level, while he had an abnormally high one, maybe his displays of weakness, the crying, just really upset him. I don't know, the whole thing is iffy.
I ain't gonna lie. This is, bro, it's a baby. It's honestly, it's whatever. It's whatever. I don't believe either one of those because it's a fucking baby, bro. The baby got PTSD. Yeah, okay.
I'm not really sold on either one, but I did want to
Facts.
include it because if they were indeed going for something like that, then wow.
The
I
baby got
promise you,
PTSD.
this
Okay.
gotta be the biggest Dragon Ball Z misconception ever. That shit was not clear at all. But let me know in the comments if y'all believe any of the
I
conspiracies
don't
or
believe
if
that
you heard a
shit.
better one.
I don't believe that shit.
I
I
personally
don't.
think
I
it's
don't
just
at
funnier
all.
if the reason was because he was crying, but hey, that's
Yeah,
just me.
that's
Now,
better.
this last one, I've said on this channel before, but I feel like it's worth bringing up again. When I was younger, and even still today, I've always heard the Dragon Ball Z has no plot, Dragon Ball story isn't
What?
good,
Dragon Ball Z has no plot. What are you talking about?
blase blase. And I
Bro,
never
what?
really
What are
argued
you talking
against it
about?
until I got older and realized just because something has a simple story doesn't necessarily make it bad. Now, if you want to say it's a bad story because of the plot,
Bro, that edit of Trunks is crazy.
it's a simple story doesn't necessarily make it bad. Now, if you want to say it's a bad story because of the plot holes or things that may not make sense,
And that's totally
that
fine.
would be more understandable. But not gonna lie, this could just be me, but I don't feel like a few plot holes makes an entire story bad. Like, you're saying the whole thing is just bad now? I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I
I don't
like
know
to
about that.
remember that writers are human too. So as long as the story is entertaining and the majority of it makes sense, how can I call it a bad story? Oh, and there's plenty of anime with plot holes or just something off that I feel the same way too. But for
Yeah,
Dragon
plot
Ball
holes
Z's
exist.
case, I for one always watch for the humor aspect in the fights.
Mm,
Not to have my mind absolutely blown by the plot. Not everything has to have a deep ass thorough story, like damn. Sometimes
true,
it's good to just vibe out. But if
true.
I'm being honest, I really think
But you know what's crazy? You know, people talk about plot and stuff, but there's a lot of emotional development in Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z legitimately teaches you, like, no matter how your genetics is, right? Low class Saiyan, Goku be putting in work. He be working his ass off, doing hella push-ups, kamehamehas to himself, intense gravity, right? Ever since he was a kid, he was always working hard for the just being stronger, right? And then he has a family. He cares about his family, but obviously he cares about training and winning and fighting strong people more than his family, right? Yeah, at least that's what it looks like. But there are definitely things to teach you how to grow and how to become a better person in Dragon Ball Z. And not just Dragon Ball Z, but in a lot of shonen and manga and anime in general. So I think the people that are saying like, oh, Dragon Ball Z has no plot, so it's not good. They're obviously they have a huge ego. And that's about it. Like, cool, you have a huge ego, bro. What do you like? Boku no Pico? Like, congratulations, bro.
Dragon Ball Z excels in exactly what it was meant for. It's always kept its comedic roots. You got cool and interesting enough characters you can be invested in. Of course, the great fights.
Yes.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think Toriyama accomplished
He
his
made it
goal.
he
I
made
don't know if
amazing
it's
work.
because Dragon Ball Z was my first anime ever or
07.
because I'm a real sucker for nostalgia, but no matter
You
how
can go
much
back
anime
and
I
watch it.
watch, I always hold Dragon Ball Z close to my heart. But
Mhm.
yeah, yo, let me know in the comments what some other
Dragon Ball
realizations
Z's
you've
big.
had over the years, or even if you always understood any of these. This was just a video I wanted to get out to y'all while I work on the other ones you guys were voting for in the poll. But with
Cool.
that said,
It was a cool
like,
video.
comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this.
They were in trouble and you didn't lift a finger to help them out. Clearly. Do not listen.
Clearly.
Cell is only using 17's voice in order to confuse you. Silence, Toaster!
Silence Toaster is crazy.
Hey, Kamikalo!
Kamikalo. Yeah, he did say that shit, bro. He said Kamikalo. All right, that was dope. Lindoo, dope video. It was cool. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z definitely is one of the greatest animes, and it's not just because of the fights. There are deeper and impactful moments than just the fighting. The fighting is just a big part of it, right? I really don't see why people choose to hate on things that are popular, especially things that are popular and older. Like Dragon Ball Z has been done for a long ass time. So I guess the hate comes from somewhere else. But to criticize it, I definitely understand that as well. It's okay to criticize Dragon Ball Z. Like even though I hold it as one of the greatest animes in the world, that doesn't mean that you have to. That's totally fine. So yeah, Dragon Ball Z is still goated. In my opinion, it's still goated. And I think it'll be goated for the foreseeable future. Anyways, this was a great video. Thank you guys for dropping this in the Discord. Link down below. Join the Discord, drop videos like this. I'll check them out. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. KhunShawn out.